And then I use this little character here to give my feedback. So you can always tell who's talking. And then the students can actually comment by texting, uploading audio, uploading their own version marked up, so in a PDF, or they can use video conferencing, they can even phone it in. So there's all sorts of ways to use VoiceThread, but I really, really like this. The other one that I want you to try right now, excuse me, if you have the internet up, go to simplemeet.me. And this is a very quick, very easy way to start a chat online. So I'm going to start this chat 11:33. All right? So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to start this. Yeah, there we go. You can see up in there, so you'll go to simplemeet.me / or hashtag / 1133. See if you can join this. It's like, yes, good. Great. And the cool thing about this, one of the things that's happening is classrooms are now putting tweets up in the background so that people can get involved in the conversation. I find it rather, distracting because everybody will be more interested probably in what's going on back there than what's being talked about. But it's a fun thing, and you can add in comments. So how do you think it's going so far? Are you learning some new things? Go ahead and give us a chat. Give us a shout out. And I'm going to just kind of keep that going, and we'll come back later and see. And I always say write only nice things, of course. So let's go forward. I'll come back to it. And meet Alan Molnar. He's waiting for us in New York on Skype. And Alan just got a new job at Lehman College, and he is going to be introducing you to a streaming festival that he puts on and would like to invite you. And I do have a QR code there, which will take you to the website. So if you've got a scanner, you can pop that in. And I can see that Alan is all set to rock up there. So let me see if I can make a full screen. It's coming. Hi, Alan.
Good morning, Dr. Hagen. How are you doing, Sarah?
We are doing great here. So, Alan, this is the Luther College Music Education Symposium, and they are just excited to hear about what you have to say today. So go for it.
Oh, well, thank you so much for allowing me to be in this morning. I too was a Star Trek fan, and it's really a pleasure and an honor to be able to address participants this morning. So, I want to talk about a couple things. I'll be very brief today, but I just want to share a few things that I've been doing with technology and distance learning. I started a project close to 10 years ago called the ALIVE Project. The acronym stands for Accessible Live Internet Video Education. And over the course of 10 years, we've done dozens of workshops featuring prominent artists in instrumental music, jazz, Latin music, symphonic music, symphonic band, vocal music, and major art, literally from their homes all over the world. And we've done events in Hong Kong, in Australia, and Norway, Sweden, Canada, and the US. So it's been a very exciting exploration, and most of these were one-to-one types of contacts, where, again, as a clinician, with versus a group of students and interaction between the two. And so that laid the basis basis for some of the work I'm doing with our Jazz Festival right now. But just real briefly, I want to talk about the whole paradigm of working with computer labs. Back in the early to mid 1990s, I was teaching elementary school and high school up in Toronto, Canada, and we started a very program utilizing a Mac-based computer mini lab. And each student, we had 22 workstations in our lab. We did multimedia work. We used a platform called HyperCard, which is somewhat analogous to Keynote and PowerPoint now. And we did just written up the MIDI sequencing, and it became our process of being able to give music students a real good, thorough, well-rounded training in music education. In music, they had to write and create arrangements that they would play into the computers and all of that stuff that we're, I think, reasonably familiar with to this day. Things conceptually haven't changed. But we based everything on the value system of traditional band, chorus, and orchestra. Foundation of music education in Canada and the US, of course, is based on that, and finding ways to bring this technology to that value system, to that set of skills that we want our students to learn was learning about our missions and putting this all together. And so fast forward, I moved to New York City, and I now work at Lincoln College, where I'm a jazz classes that I teach is our electronic music course. And over the course of the last few years, I designed sort of a traditional computer lab with more up-to-date. We have iMacs and MIDI keyboards and all that stuff that you would expect. But we have 16 workstations and a teacher workstation, so everything's pretty traditional. But things are evolved laptops, or students have school laptops they have access to. And I think where things are evolved into, where the nature of the lab itself is going to evolve into the equipment that the students use themselves, so they can bring their own laptop. We would provide a computer desk, maybe a MIDI keyboard, printer, scanner, maybe a secondary monitor instead of multimedia speakers. But the computer itself would then become the platform that the students themselves are using. So we really start to transcend the technology and really get to the core of the matter, which is music. The technology, the kids have a pretty good foundation on it. And also, there are a lot of, if you look at concepts, if you're choosing a platform for, get back to in software, the platforms are all pretty much the same, and as I say, the record button is always red. So if you start at that as a premise, you can click the technology part and then really seamlessly and transparently use technology to bring music to the kids. And so one quick example of that that we did at our Jazz Festival a couple of years ago, special guest Terry Silverlight, wonderful drummer and producer here in New York, who was the guest with his band at the festival. About 2 weeks before the festival, I set up a project with my students to do some to do an event, a pre-festival event. Now the students all semester have been learning about jazz through they have been learning about audio engineering, because we record our festival, we stream it live, so we have need for audio engineering and live sound. I get my students to
Sorry, Alan.
Did we lose you?
We did. Can you let us know about this year's festival and when it is, and then we'll move on in the presentation today. Thank you.
Okay, absolutely. That's fine. Okay, terrific. So the festival this year is going to be November 20th through the 22nd. And I will be, we will be streaming that live. It's from 4 p.m. 20th through the 22nd. we have evening concerts on the 21st and 22nd. Our special guest is Mike Minieri, great vibraphonist, and we hope that you will be able to join us by web stream. And I'll send information to Dr. Hagen that perhaps she can forward to you. And we hope.
Many thanks, Alan. Let's move on.
We'll be in touch. And have a great session today, everyone.
Thanks, Alan. Bye-bye. So Alan is a great friend. He has done many, many things with us by distance, and he's just invited you to come. And you can stream it, bring all the music ed students, and see how that works in any room that has internet. So that's I will make that available to you all. So let's continue to talk a little bit about trends and issues then, because he's been doing this for 10 years already, right? So, but it's still not really caught on. And let me tell you, in 1999, I gave my first online piano lesson. I was a beta tester for what was called online conservatory at that time. And I was working on my PhD in Florida, and I still maintained a couple of students up in North Dakota during my 2 years that I was gone. And so I was using this technology back in 1999. Let me say that again. It's not new. This is not new. However, it's taken a long time to filter down and to make sure that it's good enough. And you know, this whole idea of, well, at what point do we add it in? Because if it isn't perfect, we don't want to use it. And that really isn't the case with technology. Technology is one of those things that you jump into and try. You call all of your projects pilots, okay? And then you can get by with a lot more. So pilot stuff, all the time. It's called experiment. This is the basis of STEM education right now. If you get involved with STEM educators, you will have money galore. I'm involved right now. I just got a $7,000 grant for 2 kids to figure out, 2 of my college students, to figure out curriculum to take to 4th and 5th graders on the use of microphones and recording and all these other fun things. So hook up with people who are interested and who have money, and that's half of the game. So telematic performance this is the highest end there is right now. Telematic performance has been done in California largely because of Caltech and a couple of other universities out there that are in the EVO system, which is using uncompressed audio and jamming those huge bandwidths into big pipes. We have pipes about this big, okay? So we can't stuff a whole lot in there, and that's the problem right now. And that's even why we had a little bit of glitch with latency that you saw with our Skype. They have no latency whatsoever. So I want to show you just what that might look like. This is called Jack Trip. And if you're really, really kind of geeky, there you go. There's some people who left, but there's still some people hanging in there. That's what's interesting out there. All right. Everybody's just very careful. That's okay. Oh, here it is. This is in 2 different places at once. And you will hear absolutely no latency whatsoever. If you hear anything at all.